welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We've got Shaka and Robbo in the studio. Jules is with us as well, and we've got plenty of questions to get through. All right, first one is using Jules's journalistic skills. Jules, a report came out today that Zizou is considering the Liverpool job. Please tell everyone that this is garbage news.
Completely garbage. Rubbish. I mean, you really want me to go there, or this is enough, or do you want me to explain why this is silly?
Tell us why it's silly. Tell us why we're even seeing reports like this.
I mean, I don't know. That's people making things up. There's no way, or AI maybe. I don't know where this is coming from. I didn't see it today, or nobody asked me about it before. But if somebody is lying, if he wrote that a source told him that Zinedine Zidane is considering the Liverpool job, for a few reasons, I'm just going to give you the two most obvious ones and important ones. The first one and the biggest one of all is that he's about to take over Didier Deschamps as the France national team head coach at the end of the World Cup, and he's ready for this, and he should be announced probably around March or April. And the other one is that he doesn't speak a word of English. And there is no way that Zinedine Zidane, whose biggest quality as a manager is the man management skills that he has, would go to a country where he doesn't speak the language and can't communicate with the players. So I don't know if Liverpool fans would be disappointed even, but this is never going to happen.
So there.
Did Jules just say that journalists sometimes make it up? I mean, no, surely
Only
not.
bad ones.
Surely
Only
not.
bad ones. Not Jules's
Blame
kind.
AI. Blame AI.
AIs, yeah, they're the ones that
Like
fault.
what? AI's got nothing to do these days.
All right, looking back, what was the bigger mistake Liverpool made? Letting Trent Alexander-Arnold go or giving large contracts to ageing stars?
Well, I would have always said that Alexander-Arnold's not my sort of player because I don't think he can defend, and he's showing that at Real Madrid. So I didn't think it was a loss for Liverpool. Unfortunately for them, that Frimpong has been injured, and Conor Bradley hasn't done as well as they thought he was going to do. But I always thought it was a danger giving ageing stars massive contracts because they're now on superior wages. They're another year older. Next season they're going to be another year older. And at some point, your form and your abilities are going to go downhill. So I think that's the bigger mistake.
All right. For Jules, if Arsenal and PSG meet again in the Champions League semi-finals, who would you want to go through?
That's a great question. Somebody else was asking me the question today about when they faced each other last season and who did the kids support and things like that. Seeing how amazing last season was for PSG and the final and Munich and all of that, I think I probably would be okay. Well, it could be Arsenal's turn now, so I'll probably be happy if Arsenal make it to the final in the hope that they would also win it later.
Who did the kids support last year?
Yeah.
You kind of just skirted over that, Jules.
Tottenham.
Never. Is he not answering?
No, he's not
I mean, I'm
answering.
a sharer. You know I'm a sharer, so I would be happy with this. PSG is obviously the heart from a long time ago.
Who did the
45 years
kids
ago when I was
support
born.
last season, Jules? Never mind, you're a sharer.
And this is, I think, to be fair, the
not
little
a hard
one,
question.
she's only 8 and she was
Who
like...
did the kids like?
No, I'm just...
It can only be one of
No,
two
because there's a
things.
good explanation, Robo.
Yeah.
There's a good explanation, a really rational explanation from the boys. The little one, she's only 8 and she said, I want to draw. And we said to her, listen, you can't have a draw, somebody has to win. Anyway, the two boys went for PSG because they said, and I think this is really fair, and they're 16 and 12. For a long time, Arsenal didn't play in the Champions League while they were growing up, obviously, so there was no Arsenal in the Champions League, whereas PSG were always in the Champions League, always breaking their heart, always disappointment. So they said, like, for all those years where we suffered, to see PSG winning the Champions League, which meant beating Arsenal in the semi-final, would be so special, so they rooted for PSG.
Oh my God.
He's answered it very well.
Yeah.
He answered it very well.
But no, journalists do make it up sometimes, so you can't always trust what he's saying.
And I liked how rational the boys were about it, unlike Jules with his dream draw.
What a dream draw that was.
Okay. Did the Chelsea game show how important Pedri is to Barcelona, guys?
Yes, Pedri is a player that, when him and De Jong are playing at their very best, and they were doing that earlier on in the season, they can be the best midfield partnership in football in terms of controlling the game, controlling the ball, picking out passes, running the game at their tempo. Pedri and Frankie de Jong, when they're at their best, are a formidable pair in that midfield with somebody playing in front of them, whether it's Dani Olmo or whether it's Fermin Lopez. But without him, they didn't get the control, and Frankie de Jong was bypass. The intensity of the game, he couldn't get around the field quite well enough. Chelsea players were running off the back of him. Pedri is a massive, massive player for both Spain and for Barcelona.
Elliot Anderson, will he be a World Cup star under Tuchel? Which big club will target him? Be most beneficial move for his career? Jules?
I think it's two or three great questions. I think he will start for England and Tuchel loves him. I think him and Declan Rice can be really good in that double pivot for England. I mean, I guess it will depend later on if they go far, who you face, and if you need maybe somebody, something a bit more solid. I don't know, but I think Tuchel absolutely loves him. For the move, I think he will move in the summer for sure, probably for a lot of money, between 80 and 100 million pounds. I don't think Manchester United, who are looking for a player like him and are looking at him, I'm not sure if that's a great move compared to maybe moving to City, who also need another midfielder like him. And I think him and City, for what could be Guardiola's last season, if he stays, could be very, very good, both for City and for Elliot Anderson.
Do you like him, Robbo?
He's a proper midfield player because, as I've always said, I don't believe in a holding midfield player and an attacking midfield player. A midfield player plays in midfield because he's able to do everything. And Anderson is able to do everything. He's athletic, he's good defensive, he's got a defensive mind, he can win tackles, he's energetic, and he can also pick a pass, he can make forward runs, and he can score the odd goal. So he's the all-round midfield player. Rate him highly.
Shaka, did you go into every match confident you could get a result, or were there opponents where you thought this is going to be a long day?
He played for West Ham.
Exactly. I used to go to places like Old Trafford when Man U were good. You were just hoping to get out of there without your ego being too badly bruised. To Robbo's point, you go to Anfield, you go to Old Trafford, anything you get, if you get a point, it's a bonus, and you leave as quickly as you can. So, short answer to that question is nope. There were times you just tried to get out.
It depends who you're playing for.
Well, your name's on the question, and you played for West Ham as well.
I played for West Ham, and they were on the downward spiral after coming third the year before. And there were clubs you went to and you knew you weren't going to get results. Liverpool was the biggest one at the time. They were the team that would play you off the park. You hardly got a kick. Manchester United weren't quite so good then, but were coming to the fore. And Arsenal were good at the time when they were playing under George Graham.
At the time.
When they were playing up very high, they were playing a high line under George Graham before people got used to that and started to break it down. But they were a really good team. So Arsenal, Manchester United and Liverpool were the sides that it was always difficult to go to.
Were there ever those little ones, though, that you're always like, what? I don't know why it's this team, but they're always a nightmare for us to play?
I never liked going to QPR
because
QPR had the AstroTurf pitch at the time. So they were mid-table side in the top division. You went there, it was horrible to play on. They knew how to play on it. They played balls into feet. The players knew when they could turn, how they could turn, how to close down. When you went there, you didn't even play in boots, you played in trainers.
Yeah.
It wasn't a proper game.
Yeah.
And so I hated going there.
But for me, it was Wimbledon. I hated playing against Wimbledon, even kind of after the crazy gang days. So in the 98-99 season, where we finished fifth, we started the season wonderfully well.
Is this West Ham or Newcastle?
West Ham,
yep.
West Ham. And as a matter of fact, so I think we'd won the first 4 games and I hadn't conceded or something like that. We were 3-0 up at half-time at home to Wimbledon. Lose the game 4-3. Oh, Wimbledon just was somehow, and again, this is post the crazy gang days, they just came out second half and just beat us up. And it just seemed to be same old story for me against Wimbledon every single time.
Nice stuff, guys. Okay, Jules, is Brendan Rodgers' next move going to be going back to the Premier League if a job opens up?
That's an interesting one. Obviously, his seasons, the second stint at Celtic was not as good as the first one. Obviously, it was always going to be hard to do. Although last season was great, this season not so good. He got sacked. There was a lot of attention around him and around the club and all of that. And I don't know what club would he want in the Premier League. Is he still potentially a candidate for a top 8? So we're talking, the really big boys. I'm not sure his reputation is that high anymore. So what, you go again into a mid-table team? Is that what he wants? I find it really hard to predict where he would want to go, and also, knowing him, he would want a top club. Realistically, I'm not sure he can get a top club, and again, I'm even mid-table. I'm not sure who would turn to him next, to be fair.
I think he's got to look at the likes of West Ham if they don't do well under Nunes. Even if Wolves went down, and try and bring them back up. That's the sort of job that I think he could get. And Jules is absolutely right. He wouldn't go to top 6 club now, or top 8 club. It's just, I think it's been too long. He's been out of the game for a little while. He didn't have a great time at Leicester when they went down. So I think he's going to struggle to get a top Premier League side if he does come back to the Premier League. Oh, hang on.
Shaka once recounted his story of squaring up with a goat while holding his daughter in his hands, and Jules running away from a scary dog. Does Robbo have any interesting animal encounters?
Animal encounters? Not particularly. Mind you, I did own some goats at one time.
What?
Yes.
Probably your goat.
So
Your goat.
Yeah, it was my goat. Yeah. I hope you didn't kick it or anything like that. So we had 2 goats. Well, this is when I lived with my mum and dad when I was about 17, 18. I bought a house and it had a garden that was overgrown. And somebody said, you can try and get lawnmowers in. You keep breaking the lawnmowers. The best thing to do is to get in 2 goats. And we made them a nice little house because they don't like rain. And the goats had 4 kids. And so we had 6 goats, and they did exactly what we wanted them to do. They completely got the garden down to nothing, so we could then start planting some plants. And then we fenced them in, obviously, and then took them out into this other field. One day, they jumped over the fence into the garden and completely destroyed the garden by eating all the flowers and all the plants. they were there for about 5 hours. Oh, they can eat. I tell you, goats can eat.
And what happened after that?
No,
I hope they were spared.
No, they were spared. We put them back.
Yeah,
and they just
right.
made the fence a bit higher. Oh, they were loved. I mean, my mum and dad loved them. They took them out into this walk
Curry them
on a
goats,
lead.
the quickness.
Shaka's not a goat lover by all accounts.
Curry them, let me tell you, curry goat, you can't be a curry goat.
Shaka, I remember that story, but why did that happen? I recall it's from somewhere.
Yeah, so there's an elementary school. This is when I was at Portsmouth. There's elementary school in Southampton. I can't remember the name of the school. But right next
Primary school, they call it in England, not
primary
elementary.
school.
Elementary.
Primary school. And then there's a little kind of nursery right next door, but they had animals, including this one small goat. So I'm dropping, my youngest daughter had to be 1, so I've got her in my arms. I'm dropping the other kids off.
You know what's coming, don't you, Kate? You know
dropping
what's
my other
coming.
kids off at school. So I got my daughter out of the car, and all of a sudden this goat just appeared. So now he's kind of up on his I'm with my daughter. The goat starts attacking me, like he gets up on his hind legs and like trying to headbutt me. But now I've got my daughter in my hands, so I've got to kind of keep her to this side. I'm kind of like every time the goat goes up.
What do you think he was protecting more, his daughter or his Maserati?
No, this is post Maserati. I've got all the kids. I've got three dropping off at school, 1 in my arms, and this goat coming for me. And I'm like, oh, come. Every time the goat goes up on the hind legs, I have to give it one of them. And
They've got a nip on them as well, goats.
Oh, I'll take your word for it.
I would have loved to have seen a video of that.
Oh, no, God. Let me tell you. I'm like, how I find myself in this situation fighting a goat?
But you did?
But, some things, not all heroes wear capes.
Some days are more eventful than others. Jules, what's your story here then, running away from the scary dog?
Yeah, I mean, I must have been 12 or 13. We were on holidays at my parents' friends in Dordogne, and we were playing football. The ball goes over the fence in the neighbour's garden, and our friends didn't get on at all with the neighbours. They were not very nice, and they had a dog who was quite a mean dog called Adolf. Exactly, to tell you a bit about the kind of family they were. Yeah, Adolf was the name of the dog. It was so mean that he had a lead that was tied into a big wire that was covering their whole garden, so he could still run but could not escape because he was so mean, right? The ball is in the middle of the garden. My dad says, go and get it. I was like, I can't, there's the dog. He said, go and get it. So I go over the fence, go to get the ball. The dog sees me He starts running at me. I've got the ball. I run back towards the fence, right? And as I'm about to climb the fence, he literally bit my bum a little bit. I swear to you, I've never been so scared in my life than that day against Adolf. And then somehow I jumped over the fence, but my bum was all red. It was horrible, man. Horrible Adolf. He bit my bum. Like, I can still picture it in my head now. I swear, it's so bad.
My wife, we had a cat. My wife and I, we had a cat, and she was stroking it one day, and suddenly it turned on and bit her arm, and it went right into the arm. And I said, "Oh, you'll be all right. Don't worry about that." The arm started to swell up. I said, "Oh, don't worry." She's like, "Do you think I need to go to hospital?" I went, "No, leave it." She went about 2 days later, and they said, as she left it any longer, she'd have had to have her arm amputated because the poison was going up her arm.
Oh,
yeah. So if you get bitten by a cat or scratched by a cat, make sure you go. There's my sort of word of warning to anybody that's got cats. Go to the hospital straight away.
Yes, absolutely.
Get your tetanus injection and make sure you get it
and
cleaned
never
up.
listen to medical advice from Robbo before that.
yeah.
Because otherwise you'll be
That'll
losing
be
your
all right.
arm. For Shaka, last question. Will we ever get a power rankings on Thanksgiving dishes?
Is there enough? 10 dishes?
No, well, let's a turkey, green bean
Some would say you know
casserole,
more about food than you do about
potato,
football. There we go.
Gravy.
But not you?
No,
But
not me.
Pumpkin pie. Okay, 5. You could do a power ranking of 5.
What's the 5 over here?
Pumpkin pie, turkey, gravy, sweet potato casserole of some
What
type,
about
stuffing.
pecan pie? Is that
I like pumpkin pie. Who eats a pumpkin pie? I don't think I've ever eaten pumpkin pie in my life.
And mixed cranberry sauce,
There's not,
green bean casserole.
not very inspiring power
I'm not
rankings here.
inspired by Thanksgiving food, but I said it in the makeup room the other day and it went down like a lead balloon. And I
Said
didn't
what?
want them to do my hair and makeup bad. I think that I insulted people.
What'd you say?
I'm not a big Thanksgiving food fan.
No, it's-
I don't think it's the best
No,
of the
it's not.
cuisine.
So what about Christmas? What do you eat at
Christmas is at least a little better than some of it, in my opinion.
Thanksgiving is all turkey.
That's what Christmas is.
Turkey is the star of Thanksgiving. And turkey and all that. As meats go, I'd much prefer
I've got to say, the canteen do a good turkey here.
I'd have a curry goat over with turkey all day, every day.
Did you used to bring your entire family to the calf on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, used to. Yeah.
He's a cheapskate. That's what.
No,
he is,
so
a cheapskate.
let- so
you,
let-
you got a free voucher, didn't
So
you?
let me tell you, let me get this story to that. So my brother-in-law, wife's brother, used to live here in Connecticut. And my mother-in-law would come up from DC to spend Thanksgiving with my brother-in-law and his wife and so. So I used to say, well, okay, what we'll do, the whole family will come down and go to my brother-in-law's place, but they'd come here to the calf with me. I would work, and then they'd go spend Thanksgiving with that side of the family. And then on the Friday, my brother lives in Massachusetts, so him and his family would come to mine. So then we'd have like 2 days. So we get to see my wife's mom and her family on the Thanksgiving day, and then my family on the Friday. So I used to come into work, as you know, I live in Massachusetts, not Connecticut. So I used to bring everybody together. So that was the story behind it.
Oh, that's nice.
That was a long story.
Oh, you were all
Oh,
you were
dear.
all like, well, he's a cheapskate.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, man, I didn't do anything yet.
I do bring my kids to the calf to eat sometimes.
With a free voucher.
It's easier. No, not with a free voucher. But there's
Not
sometimes-
free.
Yeah, no.
It's free.
How
it's
did they
free.
get in? I have trouble getting in every time I come over.
Got to know the right
So
people.
the Thanksgiving meal is free if you're working, free for staff. I used to have to pay for them.
Oh man.
Little buggers. So,
Yeah.
as you know, there's a lot of kids I've got.
I know you already just talked about how many kids you were juggling
Right.
with the goat story.
Yeah, and I did.
And then you added more.
There was a
Did you
mission
never
after that.
learn your lesson?
Well, quite clear.
After a couple, didn't you think, hang on, I've had enough now? That's it.
Well,
What
there's
lesson
a
would
lot
that
I can
be,
say
Robbo?
about that. There's a lot. Let's wrap this up.
No, it's probably sorry we wrap that up
quick.
because we don't want to put you lot off your dinner. Anyway, thank you so much for sending in your questions today. Thank you, Jules. I'm glad that your bum's okay. Make sure to be back tomorrow on ESPN FC with a lot more.